What is up, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee on the vid, and being in the year 2022, deep into the internet era where information spreads so quickly, all kinds of news, all kinds of crime news, you hear it all the time, but every now and then you hear of a story that's so sick, twisted, just evil, disturbing, that it just makes you say, put that person down, send that demon to hell, ASAP, an express ticket, get him a red eye to the demon world yesterday. And that's just kind of my reaction here when I hear this. Comment, get in the comments, share your thoughts, everyone. I almost didn't even want to report on this, but I don't know. Sometimes things happen and it makes you say, never go against your instincts. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel something's right, no matter what, if someone's trying to assure you it's not, react on it. Ask questions. Don't just go along with what you're being told. You know what I mean? And what we're talking about here is this anesthesiologist in Brazil by the name of Quentin Bezerra violated this woman, this new mother, during a C-section, a day that's supposed to be special when she's giving birth. And to make things even more disturbing, even more creepy, they are thinking there may be more victims. Now, when you hear exactly what happened, it makes you wonder if the hospital could have stopped this guy already. You know what I mean? The authorities are praising the hospital for doing the right thing and catching this guy. But what I mean when I say that is this guy had only been an anesthesiologist for 2 months. Okay, and there was already some problems, and he was caught on video, and the reason he was secretly being recorded was because they suspected of some wrongdoing. You hear what happened here, and you hear that they were secretly recording him, and you're like, man, did they already know he was violating people? Well, no, it wasn't that they suspected him of, but they were saying they felt he was giving patients too much anesthesia. And that's where I mean, man, could they have stopped this guy already? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're on the job 2 months. Anesthesia is such a very precise thing from my understanding. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to medical school, but I've always heard anesthesiologists have to be super on point, that if it's I don't know if it's milligrams or whatever measurements, whatever off, that could be the death of a person. Or it could be the other way, where they're still awake, still conscious, and could feel the operation happening to them. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear this, you're like, man, 2 months on the job, they're thinking he's dosing patients improperly. They should have stopped this guy already. Could they have him go under a review board and say, yeah, we ain't feeling you, man, get up out of here? You know what I mean? I don't know. Comment, let me know what you guys think. The more you hear the story there's so many kind of red flags about this guy, and it's just so scary how evil he was, and just out in the open with his evil. He was doing this to women right behind a curtain while doctors were operating on them. You know what I'm saying? He's behind a curtain violating them just feet away from the doctors. And it's crazy because they said he even wore like a cloak that was open that could distort his silhouette, so they really couldn't tell what he was doing, and it makes you wonder too. It's not specified in the news reports if when they caught him on tape they rushed in and stopped him and arrested him right on the scene, or they didn't see the tape till later. I don't know. It's just so sick to think about. You know what I mean? It's horrible, disturbing, as we always talk about on this channel. People who violate people are demons. They're not even humans. They're the lowest of the low. They're scum. And hopefully this guy gets what he's got coming to him in prison. They're saying he's facing 8 to 15 years. But there's 2 other women who have come forth and is being looked over if he, did the same horrible acts to them as well. So hopefully that could get multiplied by 3. And it's looking more like 24 to 75, or I'm sorry, 24 to 45 or something like that. I don't know. I said, hey, put him in the dirt. I don't know how everyone out there feels about the DEATH penalty or not. But in some situations, I feel like even people that are against it would be for it. And this is definitely one of those situations. Now, as earlier in the video when I was talking about if something doesn't feel right, never just go along with it. Never go against your gut instinct. You know what I'm saying? If your internal alarms are being set off, something isn't right here, act on that. Don't just go with it. You know what I mean? Because what's so crazy about this is the husband, typically from what I've heard when it comes to C-sections, you're allowed to be right there. Just like, you know, for any other parents out there like myself, when your wife, baby's mama, whatever you want to call her, significant other gives birth, you're right there to, you know, hold your child right as he or she comes into this world. And from friends that I've had that had C-sections, same thing applied. They were right there. Which, damn, that's got to be crazy to see a C-section going on. I don't know if I would have the stomach for that. But in this situation, he dismissed the husband and was like, nah, you can't come in here. And obviously we know why, because he's a sick piece of ish, and he was doing what he was doing. But what I'm not understanding is if it is, you know, typical for the husband to be there, why didn't any of the other doctors say anything? Like, hey, where's the husband at? You know, why can't he be here? Why doesn't he want to be here? Something's not adding up, you know? And typically during, I guess, the C-sections, the women are not dosed to the point that they're sleeping. They're kind of in a twilight state where they're there, but they're kind of out of it and not feeling the pain. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that makes you wonder, why didn't they just stop this guy right away, ASAP, off the rip, get him up out of here? You know, it's medical procedures. There's no room for error, you know? So, I mean, I get that they were taping him to catch him, as again, they thought he was overdosing patients. I don't know. This is just all crazy. Like, are surgeries recorded anyways? They probably should be, right? Comment, anyone out there, you know, with your thoughts on this, if you know surgeries to be recorded or not. But you think they maybe should be, just in case anything goes wrong, or I don't know, for educational purposes, to show if there was complications, how one reacted to fix it, or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I got to ask this question too. No disrespect to Brazil or anyone from Brazil or anything like that. But do you believe that the United States medical standards and stuff like that are higher, or not? Like that this wouldn't have happened in the U.S. or what? I don't know. You know? It's just a fact of life, that in life at times there's people that if they are sick creeps, they have the opportunity to do horrible things. And hospitals, medical professionals or whatever, that's just one of those instances. You know what I'm saying? We can just only hope that there is some kind of system of checks and balances to protect people and make sure everything is safe, and you know, like surveillance or something like that. You know what I mean? But again, this guy is just a pure evil piece of garbage. He, you know, was new to the job, 2 months on the job, and he is doing these horrible acts right by doctors, right behind a curtain. It's just so disturbing and hard to believe. But as we know, there is evil demons out there in the world, and we can only hope that they don't get into positions where they have power over people or opportunity to hurt people. You know, that they've been revealed as the demons that they are at some point earlier in their life, or, you know, that there is other good people out there looking out for their fellow man or woman who are on point and will stop this evil stuff from happening. You know what I mean? As I always point out, there is a lot of evil in this world, but I truly believe there is more good than evil, or, you know, the world would just be pure chaos if the demons were the majority. You know what I mean? So comment, share your thoughts. Stay tuned. We will try to update you guys on this story, as I try to on all news stories and stuff like that I report on this channel. Again, this guy is facing some time, maybe more time. As I stated earlier, there is other, you know, suspected victims, which is so disturbing to think about on top of all this. So he may be facing more time. But again, I say just put him in the dirt. You know what I mean? Earlier I said, when it comes to the DEATH penalty, I feel like in some instances, even people that are against it would be for it. I don't know, in a certain situation. But stay safe, always stay on point, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.